All right, here we go. Hello, everybody. Hello and welcome. Yes, long downtime there today. But welcome here to Heart of a Hobbit here on the official Lotro twitch.tv stream channel. And looks like we got some new folks in chat, so welcome. Wow, what do we all got going on here? So I stepped away for a minute to grab some tea and already, yes, let's go. Hype for this update and next month's all sorts of stuff coming up. As a new Lotro player, says Afro Man, what a perfect time to join the community. Absolutely, you are absolutely correct. Yes, B4 says, welcome to Lotro, so absolutely welcome. And yes, of course, if you have any questions, absolutely feel free to ask. I mean, that's one of the reasons I'm here. I just want to say that for all of you who are new here, hi, I'm Little Redhead and welcome. I am not an SSG employee. And in fact, most of us who stream on this channel are not. We're just fans of Lotro. Many of us are also fans of Lord of the Rings or The Hobbit or both. Some people, like the Tolkien professor who streams on Fridays usually, is actually really deep into the lore and knows a lot about things. But none of us are actually SSG employees except for Cordovan, who streams sometimes on Fridays, and Scenario sometimes comes on and kind of takes people around to show various things about the landscapes, because he's one of the landscape designers. So aside from that, the rest of us are all just players, just like you. But we do happen to know a lot, so we are happy to help out. So, yeah, I see somebody's looking for help with a ticket, and unfortunately, yeah, there's nothing I can do to help with that. You maybe get in touch, like try customer service again is the best I can say. I know that they, with the pandemic and everything, I know that Cord talked regularly about how customer service, they lost some folks, and so now they're ramping back up, and they've got a new, more people on the team and a new lead, and so those folks are, I think, up to speed now. So they are definitely working through the backlog of tickets that they had. So yeah, I would say, check with customer service and see what they can do for you. That's the best I've got. I'm sorry. I really do hope you get your ticket resolved though, because yeah, this is a fun game, and I would be really sad if I lost access to it for some reason or something. If something happened, that would make me really sad. So, but yeah, and then yeah, cool. So Mubot there has put the help link. That would be the place to go. So yeah. I would say, like, yeah, before it says maybe follow up with another follow-up ticket. That seems like a good way to maybe see what happens. Instantly said is resolved or merged with the original ticket. Well, then I would say there's something about your ticket. I mean, I'm just guessing, but my guess is that if you are getting, if they're saying it's instantly resolved or it's merged with the original ticket that's supposedly resolved or something, I would say there may be more information that they're not seeing from you. Like, that would be my guess. Like, maybe they're not understanding what your problem is. That would be my guess. Like, just thinking from a customer service perspective, because I've done that kind of, stuff before, that maybe they are not seeing the full picture that you're seeing. So maybe word it differently. I mean, I've seen that work before, where you're just like hitting your head against a wall with something, and just like maybe have a friend, like I've done this before, where you have somebody else kind of reword in their words and see if that gets a different point across. I've seen that help, things like that. So, but yeah, customer service is the only folks that can really help you out there. So good luck. I definitely wish you luck with that. I hope that works out. So what are we doing here though? What are we doing here? Why are we here? It's a very existential question, right? Apparently, Hobnanigans is this weekend, and I don't know how I was not paying attention and missed that, because I am all over the social stuff that happens here in Lotro. So usually Hobnanigans is a big thing for me, but been very busy with the Spring Festival, been very focused with the Spring Festival. So that is probably why I didn't even notice. But so, all right, so it says visit the Hobnanigans field, and field's an attempt to put a chicken through a goal by hitting it with a stick. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish that quest, because that is going to give me a Hobnanigans map, which is sometimes convenient. Now, I happen to be a hunter. This character is a hunter, and excuse me, she can She can go anywhere. She's all over that. Oh, hey, I wonder if Wenda has changed. We're gonna go take a look. I can't remember. Oh no, they think that's on Bulwark. We're gonna go take a look anyway. We're gonna hop back to the neighborhood. It's usually where I like to start my day. I must have been porting somebody around. We're out here in Eregion, which is like the doorstep to Moria, and getting into Moria and starting that quest line so you can get your legendary items. So that's probably why my character was standing around there. Oh yeah, and lost $300. Yeah, that's no fun. That's no fun. Yeah, there was just kind of getting back to what you're talking about there. You're saying about how they want you to verify yourself. I know there was they've been battling some folks who are not doing nice things to our player base, basically, and stealing people's accounts by, getting passwords through, if you had a Yahoo account that got hacked or whatever, right? So they're being overly cautious to make sure they're not giving people's accounts to hackers. Yeah, so that's what you're up against. Okay, so let's see what we got here. So this is the VIP rewards lady. So kind of stepping back just a moment here. So I'm on the Treebeard server, and the Treebeard server is a legendary server. Yeah, I saw your population thing. Oh, okay. Cool, thanks. And so our cap is level 60 on this server. The cap on a regular server right now is 140. On the legendary servers, there's 3 of them. I'm on Treebeard, which is the slowest, and this is awesome. I love it on Treebeard. We're level 60 is our cap, and the other one that opened at the same time as Treebeard is Shadowfax. They're going zoom, zoom, zoom really fast. I think they're up to like 105 already or 120. It's crazy ridiculous. And then Anor is the 3rd legendary server, and that's been open a little bit longer. And they are going up to 130, I think, really soon. So, oh, Elda, thanks for jumping in there. Yeah, Eldaleth has been around with Lotro longer than I have, and yeah, she... I appreciate you, helping out there with understanding the frustration. Yeah. Oh, right. Yeah, because Elda, oh my gosh, her Discord account got hacked earlier this year. And it was one of those crazy little hacks where, and so here's a warning to all of you, where basically somebody so it's somebody who's a friend of yours on Discord will say, hey, I'm creating this video game. Can you check it out? Here's the link. And you click on that link, and that basically allows them to hack your Discord. And then what they do is they go to all of your friends, acting as you, and saying, hey, can you check out my video game? And so it spreads like that. It's really terrible. So that's what happened to Eldaleth, unfortunately, and caught it. And anyway, so she can tell you the whole story. It's so frustrating. So she understands frustration with trying to work with folks and trying to get things sorted out. So, yeah, Erebos Dark God says, yep, getting hacked is not fun. Yep, your Blizzard account got hacked 2 or 3 times. Ugh, right? Ugh. So yeah, so one of the things you can do to help with some things like that, like in the future, is don't use the same password twice anywhere. And I know you're like, oh my gosh, I have to memorize all these passwords. You don't. Get like one of those password lock, password saver, password maker, one of those kinds of things where basically you have to know one password and that gets you into the thing, and you can create a password that's separate and unique for every single place that you go. And if you want to go doubly hard, you could do another thing where you could go and get one of those email creator accounts where you create a separate like sneak email for every single thing that wants an email from you. That way, if somebody hacks one email, they don't have access to anything but that one account. They don't have access to, because they can go and search for that email and they'll never find it anywhere else because you used just for that one place. So that's another anti-hacking trick you can try. I mean, it's going forward, obviously it doesn't help you in the past, unless you can get yourself a TARDIS or something. But, yeah. I know we're all very excited or hopeful that we can get 2-factor authentication some point. It's really interesting though, because it's it's important to part of the community, and it's also an annoyance to another part of the community. So I think SSG is trying to balance like putting in two-factor authentication to help support existing customers, but knowing that it will push away other customers, and trying to balance that. So I get that. That's frustrating too. So Quoth the Innkeeper, hello, thus Quoth the Innkeeper. Awesome, awesome. Welcome. Fellowship chat. Also, I want to point out that I'm drinking out of my Deco de Mieux mug. We'll come back to that here in a second. Hang on. People are trying to get my attention, apparently, and I'm on the wrong chat channel. Pick one. Oh, neat. Oh, okay, hang on a second. Okay, so many things to talk about. So let's see. The festival is happening right now. Spring Festival is on. We're going to go do Spring Festival stuff. VIP rewards. I'm going to pick up VIP rewards from Wenda Cranesbill. Doing that right now. So I've accepted her quest, and now I go, hey, lady, you just gave me a quest. I would like to turn it in. I turn it in. Boom. She gives me these two fun little items here. One is a subscriber's jug. Once you consume it, it's good for 2 days, for 48 hours. And it accelerates your crafting time, and it prevents item wear from combat, crafting, or defeat. So that is really awesome. You have 6 hours for that jug to sit in your inventory, and after that it disappears. So sometime within that 6 hours, make sure you at least chug it. And then the other thing she gives you is this cool little subscriber town services, and that's like having vendors in your pocket. So cool. Now this says it's good for 1 day and 23 hours. I'm gonna go put that on my little bar here because I find it really convenient to have quick access to it. So just note that one of the things that they're testing, because there's a test server called Bull Roarer, and they have notes on what all they're testing. And so I was just reading through the notes earlier, and they are testing a 2-week version of that, which would be amazing. Because right now you pretty much got to come back and see her every 2 days, which is why I always start my day in the neighborhood. Well, that and the crates, which I think I already picked up on the way in because I just was like, I'm sorry. I did that without showing you all what I did. I apologize. I try to show what I'm doing so that way you can learn in case there's somebody in the stream who hasn't seen that before. But sure, I will follow you. Oh, I'm gonna jump over a fence. There we go. I'll follow you over to that. Okay, so what else is going on? So Erebor Stark God, you have a 2-factor authentication on your Blizzard and your Star Wars account. That's really smart. Yep. Okay, let's see. Oh, MB4 posted a link to a password maker that is one you could try out. I also I like that one. That one's a good one. So, and yes, you can choose different passwords and write them down like on a piece of paper, which is good if you are the kind of person who won't lose that paper and nobody else is going to somehow walk off with that paper. Like, yeah. I'm just having thoughts of when a family member was not quite in the same mental place one day to the next and decided to go and change a bunch of their passwords at one point, and it caused so much chaos, and it was on paper and stuff. It was crazy. Anyway, let's see. So yes, the great thing in the notes on Bull Roar is the next big update that will last, that will last 2 weeks with the Wenda. That's so good. Oh, thanks, Moobot, for the Bull Roar details. So if you are a person who would like to go and test things out before they show up on the servers live, they open up the Bull Roar test server from time to time, and that link will take you to the forums where it'll tell you, is it open, is it closed? And when it's open, they'll have a whole bunch of those release notes of what they're working on in there, so you can go on and play with stuff. But I mean, the whole world is there. So if you're like, gosh, I wonder what it would be like to have 2,000 mithril coins and buy every house in a neighborhood, you could go and do that. Because on that server, remember it's a playground, it's a test server. So there's like a character in there, you can go and they'll just give you mithril coins, and they can give you like a bunch of in-game money and like all this currency you can get and play around with. So, but it just stays on that server. So just to let you know, don't be surprised if you leave and all that fun stuff you played with doesn't go with you. It doesn't go with you. But it is fun. It is fun to go and play around with it. Okay, yes. Quoth the Innkeeper says, can I ask a random question? And then I have a random question for you. So, okay, first your question. What is the population like on Treebeard? I am tempted to create a character there. So I love it here. And and B4 did answer that we're about 30 minutes after the servers just came back up. So, and Treebeard has, yeah, currently I see the same thing, 99 people who are not listed as anonymous on the server. I'd say the server tends to run in terms of non-anonymous people around, I don't know, I'd say between 100 to 250 that you'll see at any given time. We kind of peak and flow, but it's a pretty consistent player base. Like, there's people like me who've kind of made it their home, and we kind of show up every day. There's a number of smaller kinships, and then there's a couple of larger kinships. When you're trying to do like group content, especially if you're in the so the way that the legendary servers kind of end up running is people join when it starts, and then you all kind of drift to cap, and you all kind of hang out at cap together. And then when the cap raises, which for us is every 6 months, a lot of people filter up to that next cap level. And so you get fewer and fewer people that are down in those lower numbers, but you still have people coming in, and they'll make another character, and they're like, oh well, gosh, I wish I had a lore master at cap. I guess I'll go ahead and get one of those started now. And so, like, if you're trying to do great barrows and stuff like that, you can find people who are on level to do it with you. You definitely can find people that are over leveled to come and do it with you, because there's always somebody who hasn't finished those deeds and is interested in getting back in there. So. Yeah, so I would say there is definitely a consistent player base here. Let's see, you can do every quest in Moria until what was that? Even the resource instances are looking attractive. Yeah, so basically, like, if you want to do every single quest in the game, you've got the time to do it and still be hanging out around level cap. So that is a lot of fun. So on the legendary servers on Treebeard and Shadowfax, they added in some really cool stuff where you can play with a difficulty level added on to your character. And so, for example, Affodil and me, we are both playing at deadly difficulty. So they kind of went from like, I think hard and difficult, or maybe there's another one below that. Anyway, so then deadly is the highest one, and then deadly goes from 0 to +1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5, and 6. So deadly +6 is the highest. Anyway, so if you're playing in this funny little stuff that you can add on, you can earn titles when you hit level 50 and when you hit level 130. So we're doing that, and I created one of every type of class because each class gets a different title. So, you could be crazy like me and do that, absolutely. Okay, so, and let me get back here real quick. Elda says, even if you don't want to spoil yourself with quests right now, it's an absolutely beautiful new area. Oh, the Yondershire? Yeah, I really want to go see it. Here, let's head off to the festival grounds while we're chilling. I want to go look at it. So Yondershire is a new thing that's coming out. It's going to come out next month in April sometime, probably with update 34, I think it is. That's the next big update that's coming. And so it's an area that's going to fill in some parts of the map. And apparently it's really big, and it adds more Shire and Hobbit content. So I'm really excited about that. But I am actually not going to the test server to check it out. I am waiting, and I'm going to wait till it comes to live, and we might do it together here on stream. I haven't quite decided if I want to do that, because the only problem with doing it on stream is sometimes I get so distracted by what's going on in the chat and talking and stuff that I don't experience what's going on as much as I would if I was just doing it. So, for example, there's a new area. Not the Wildwood, the other one, the Angle of Mytheliel, Mythethil, and I did that on stream, and now I want to go back with another character and redo it because we went through it together, but I didn't internalize it as much as I want to. So, I haven't gone to look at Yondershire, and I don't know, I might do some of that off stream without you and then catch you guys up later. So, okay, there was a question though. Somebody asked, where to go? What quest? There we go. Afroman says, Afroman Hamro, new to Lotro, what skirmish or instance should I do at 31? Cool. And yeah, B4's got some good advice there, and Eldolith probably does too. Awesome. So yes, you will have unlocked. So if you go to, on the bottom bar, you'll see, I do quote the innkeeper. I'll come right back to you. There's a little caret at the end, and that's where you'll find the instance finder, and you click on that and it will show you all the different instances that you have access to. And you can sort them. Here, I'm going to collapse here. These are the different categories. So you've got instance, where you might be able to make some adjustments. You've got the non-scaling instances where they just, you're in. There's the seasonal ones, which only are available during that festival. And then there's some skirmishes, which also are, I like the skirmishes quite a lot. I like to go and do like the defensive skirmish of Siege of Gondomar. I really like that one. Fort of Brunnen is fun. Defense of the Prancing Pony, you get a taste of that in the intro, and I like that one. Battle of the Smiths is good. So anyway, so there's a lot of good things you can do, and that might be higher level actually. Yeah, sorry, Battle of the Smiths is Moria, you're not there yet. But anyway, so I would say just pop into here and start looking through them. And if you're not sure about it, you know, if you can adjust the level right there, you can change the level and make it lower. So if maybe you are level 31, but you're like, oh, maybe I'll go check it out and just start at level 10. And that way you don't have to worry about like, you know, you can kind of walk through it. Or if you want to do the full challenge, just do it at your level. And you can often choose the size that you want to do it at. So if you're doing it on your own, you might choose just, you know, size 1 or whatever. I also would suggest looking at finding a kinship on your server. I don't know what server you're on, Afro Manhammer, but if you post in the chat, let us know what server you're on, because there's a lot of really good kinships out there, and people will be really good at helping you out, and you know, being there for advice, and if you want to team up with people and stuff like that. Okay, so let's quote the innkeeper. You have a badge, and it says TwitchCon Amsterdam 2020. So are you in the Netherlands, or did you travel to the Netherlands for that? That is my question to you. Oh yeah, and so once you get to level 32, Fman, you'll be able to do some Gartha Garwin stuff. There's some tough stuff in there, really tough stuff in there, I think. I struggle with it. So that's really fun if you're looking for a good challenge, or if you have like other people and you want to run some group content together, that's a good one. Yes, so Bees Big Business. So as it mentioned in the launcher, if you saw the launcher today after the update, that this is, I guess, why does it say, no, we're the last week we're coming down to the end of the festival. Like we have, I don't have my spreadsheet up, but we have, it's got to be at least till we've got at least through the weekend for sure. Oh, I have it on my character. Hang on a second. On my character, in my biography, I have put the festival schedule for reasons like this to help myself out. So let's see. Oh, there it is. Hobnanigans, March 31st through April 4th. If I just look at my stuff here. Spring Festival goes through April 6th. So we have 7 days, including today. And actually when it says April 6th, it ends at 3 a.m. April 6th. So really the last day is the 5th. So we have 6 days. I really need to get on top of festival with some of my characters. I'm behind if I'm going to try and get everybody through, which maybe that is too silly of a goal right now. We are also taking Dutch lessons, and it is intensive. We are very, very busy with that. So yeah, I'm not spending as much time playing the game as I would like to. Maybe that's good for me. I don't know. Okay, so you neither attended nor lived here nor visited. Okay, you were in the UK. You had tickets, but it was canceled. Oh, but they let you keep the badge. Got it. Okay, all right, cool. So we live in the Netherlands, as I may have alluded to and have actually mentioned a number of times on the stream, not necessarily just today, but like in general. So from the US, but I live in the Netherlands now, and I love it here. Learning Dutch. I'm not fluent. But you're welcome to post something in Dutch in there as long as it's polite. And I'll see if I can tell you. But generally, we keep the chat in English. That way, everybody who's here, because English is such a common language, most people speak English. Even here, a lot of people speak English. Anyway, okay. So yes, festival. Thank you, Moobot. It is Spring Festival time. There is the official guide. Okay, so lotro.com is now having, they're starting to put guides, like kind of a general overview of each of the festivals on the lotro.com website. So keeping that, within their ability of their fingers to touch, which is, I think, a smart thing. We also have we have a nonprofit and have a website for our nonprofit, and we are definitely of the philosophy of we like to keep information about our stuff within range of where we have the ability to control that information. So I get it. However, the community for Lotro is amazing, and so one of the community members is Fibro Jedi, and Fibro Jedi, excuse me, has been making festival guides for a number of years and does fantastic stuff. So the link is there also, fibrojedi.me.uk. And Fibro is awesome. Fibro Jedi is awesome. Fibro itself is not awesome. Fibro Jedi is awesome. DecoWU, I mentioned them also. That is another website. They keep a database of every single housing item that you can get in Lotro, whether it's through a festival barter or a quartermaster or some other reward. Every single housing item you can find in the game is listed on their website with pictures and some tags, so you can find other things of a similar nature. Like if you're looking for tables, you can just put in table and it'll show you every table in the game. So another great resource. And then also is a link to my website, my YouTube page, and that has, we put together a video before, and I put together a video where we did the in-league and Ale Association delivery quest, which you can only do during the festival. So let me show you where these guys look like. So you're looking for these fellers here. You'll see a dwarf standing there, both as in Ale Association Tavern Keep, and you'll see an in-league Tavern Keep Hobbit next to him. And so if you become a member of the in-league and you become a member of the Ale Association, yes, you can play both sides. So once you've done that, they have a series of quests where they want you to go and deliver a drink to one of their members. And so the in-league folks are trying to drink one of the in-league beverages, and the Ale Association is trying to trick those people into drinking something that's what it's supposed to be, but it's not really that, so they think it's something else. So for example, like the in-league guys, they want a bit of brown, and instead when you deliver the Ale Association drink, you deliver a bit of white, and they're like, huh, this doesn't have the flavor I was expecting. And so, it's the silly little game they play on the side. Yeah, exactly. So there is a way that you can pick up all of the Ale Association quests, go and do those deliveries, and at the same time, you're able to do the in-league deliveries. And so it's a quick way to get a bunch of tokens that you can use to buy things with their different factions. You can also turn them in. This is a trick that Eldaleth taught us, that you can turn those in for a box of festival tokens. So it's a fantastic way to get a ton of festival tokens. If that's one way where you're trying to maybe ramp up, as we are on this new server, for example, where it's like, okay, I want how many, 4,000 tokens or something like that in order to get all the festival consumables and everything. So, so if you're up to 1,200 spring leaves, wow, or something like that, that's amazing. So if you were wanting to do that delivery quest and you have a hunter, it took us 25 minutes to do it. And you have an hour, they have a timer on it, and you have an hour. So yeah, we got it done in 25 minutes, pretty easy peasy. So, so that's a video walkthrough on how to do that. Cool. So yeah, you're hoping to go to Amsterdam for the TwitchCon 2022 this summer. Oh, nice. I didn't know that was happening. I'm sheltered. I live in Middle Earth. People say, it's like I don't live under a rock per se. I live in Middle Earth. It's not quite the same. It's a very pretty rock here. Okay, so we are at the Spring Festival. Spring Festival is happening, and I am going to talk to Sergeant Tom here. And Sergeant Tom is our Spring Festival quest giver. So every festival that Lotor does, they have a primary quest giver. And so for example, this guy wants me to do a taste of spring. And he'll say, there's lots to do during the Spring Festival. Get out there and get involved and earn rewards. And so you participate, if you participate in 10 Spring Festival activities, different ones, well, 10, just 10, we'll start there. Come back to him, turn that in, and he'll give you 3 spring leaves, which is the currency for this festival, and also some legendary item experience, because I've been through Moria and I have a legendary item too, actually, and so it gives me experience, not on those items anymore. For any of you who are Lotro players who've been away for a while, oh, I didn't actually accept that, did I? Hi, Tom, can we talk about this again? Thanks, let me accept that. There's a new way that legendary item experience is dealt with. It no longer goes onto your legendary items. It now goes into this reward track, which, oh, interesting. Okay, cool. So now they've added a timer, and I knew that was coming as of this release that just came out today, this patch notes, this patch. So it goes all the way to 100. Not 9,000, just 100. And so every time you earn legendary experience, it goes to, let me zip to the middle here. So I'm like at level 58 within here. And so every time I earn legendary experience on any character on this server, it applies to this bar, and then I can claim the box. So it gives you either, let me open up my character just to show you all this is kind of new. Within the last 6 months, because it came out not long before we got Moria, and we got into Moria in January. So it's pretty new. Okay, so you get this, oops, did I not do that right? I thought it was shift double click. There it is. So this is my legendary item panel. This is the panel about that specific legendary item. And so you'll have slots, and so it's kind of like the essences, how you can slot things in an essence. Bob? Oh, you gotta go? Okay, thanks. Cool. The innkeeper, we will see you next time, hopefully. I'm here every Thursday night. This is just a later one because of the extended downtime, but I'm here every Thursday. So we'll see you next time, probably. Okay, so your legendary item has these slots, and you have like 4 different categories, and so there's 4 different categories of slots. So I can't put in like 4 of a single category. Like the category A can only go into this spot. Category B can go into these 2 slots, for example. And you have the tracery that you can slide in to that. I did too. And then you have the slot itself, which is a level. So mine, you see, they're all level 60 out of 60. But when I first got the legendary item, they were level 50 out of 60. And so I used another currency that you can get to upgrade that level. So if I switch the item, the tracery that's in there, if I throw it away or remove it, whatever I want to do, and put something else in there, for example, the level space stays the same. And that item just gets swapped in. So that's really a cool way to do it. And over time, okay, because we're capped level 60 on the server, that's why they're level 60. So when we go up, then our legendary items will have the ability to also go up. And then you can reforge it, and it has more space and all these things. So it's a cool, different system than it was before. So that's a change for any of you who are returning to the game. That's a little different from what you might have done before. Yeah, before makes a point that really glad they did away with the wood chipper model of legendary items, because basically the way it was before, and this is for those of you who are new, is you would get a legendary item, you would level it up, but it would only get to a certain level. Like you'd have a 65 level thing, and it can only hold up to, be good up to a certain point. And then you would get a different one, and maybe it was better, and so you'd just throw away that one, and you could disassemble it basically and use the parts to put on your new one. I'm simplifying it, but that's kind of what happened. And so then you'd use this other one for a while, but then they're like, oh, here, have a legendary item. Oh, good, you finished this quest, have another legendary. Oh, here, have this legendary item. Oh, here, check to this barter. That can give you legendary items for these other figmity blobbers that you got, And so you'd end up with like, armfuls of these legendary items, and you're like, how many stings are there laying around in the ground around here, because you couldn't do anything with all of those. And so you'd just be like, disassemble, 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 which just seemed like a crazy thing to do to legendary items. Like you wouldn't do that to, like Aragorn's sword. Like it's just nuts. So now they've redone the whole thing, which, there's change, and change can be difficult sometimes. But I think it's a lot better than what it was from before. And I don't mean from like just the weapons themselves. Like the weapons themselves are pretty cool. But I think it's better in terms of how you get an item and it grows with you. And I think that's the way it should have been from the beginning. I think what happened is, they created something and didn't have I think the technology might have been limiting, and then things changed, and you're trying to like change and migrate things into other things. And I think that was just, I think it got to one of those, where you're kind of like trying to hodgepodge things on. So yeah, this is definitely much closer to that. You get this weapon and you keep it forever, and it keeps getting better, and you keep getting better. So I like that. Okay, so we're in Breeland. For those of you who aren't familiar with where we are, we're up here. Yeah, there we are, by this ring here. So we're chilling out here up in the Breeland Festival Ground area, and I will take you all to the maze. So let's go over, oh, hey, actually, yeah, let's just go to the maze. We'll just go to the maze. It's cool. So the Hedge Maze, I think, is a lot of fun. Now, it takes some getting used to if you are new to it, but we're just gonna cross the road here. Check it out. This is the race. You can do the horse race, This is where you come through here and you jump over there and you go across there. Oh, Affadil's being very good about it. Look at that. Affadil's a pro, man. Okay, so but if you keep going, then you come over here to the Hedge Maze. Now the maze is here year round. Like this is always here, but there aren't always quests you can do, and that's the big difference. Let me see if I can zoom out. Can we see in any further? I don't know if we can. I don't know if we can get high enough to, we're a Hobbit, we can only get so tall. Let's see. But yeah, you can kind of see. So there are some places where you can see in a little better. Ooh, there we got a little look. Oh, that's a good one. Oh, I turned the camera too much. But anyway, so you can see there's a hedge maze going on in there. And you can see in my mini radar, we've got a ton of rings right here right now. And then the entrance to the maze is right there. So you've got the entrance, the mini radar will have the maze on it, but it doesn't have any of the rows and stuff. So you just have to kind of get to know it. Now, the good thing is it's the same maze, and it's the same maze every year, and it's the same maze every day. So you don't have to memorize anything new or figure out something new. And the reason I say it that way is because in the fall, there's the Harvest Math, and an area of Harvest Math is Wistmead, and Wistmead has a maze, but it's different every day. And then there's also like little parts where the Hedge Maze, it's actually made out of corn, has like kind of like a break, but it doesn't quite look like it, but you can like cut through, that spot. So it's like a little cheat to get through, cheat through the wheat. It's a wheat maze, that's what it is. But it's different each day. There's 5 different mazes, and it changes every day to the next one. At least it changes to the next one. So if it was maze number 1 one day, then it's maze number 2 the next day. So at least you can figure it out that way. And there's some good maps online, so at least there's that. Okay, so we are going to run through the maze. I am going to show you a couple of the quests. So we'll start with Gil Plover here. So he is a maze master. And when you first, actually I should also mention, when you first start with the Spring Festival, you get a map that you can consume, and it's like, here, go to the Spring Festival. It drops you here, like by the maze, which is cool, except for you really want to go talk to Tom first and get that daily wrapper. I call it a daily wrapper because I try to turn it in every day. But you can let it sit. Like sometimes I'm busy, right? And I will get through like 5 quests and then I have to log off. And so then the next day I'll try to get back on that character and do 5 quests, and they can be the same quests at that point because these quests, when the server resets at 3 o'clock in the morning, US time, then the quests reset. So you can do them again the next day. So, no, go for it. Do you need a ride? Okay. All right. My trusty sidekick is going to run over to Rivendell. Okay, so I'm going to talk to Gil Plover here. Now, when you first come over and talk to him, he actually has 3 quests in a row for you. He's got this first one where he's like, you know, I'm really awesome at this maze. You should go check it out. And you get 5 minutes to try and find your way through the maze. And then you come back to him and he's like, well, check you out. Try it again. But this time you only have like 2 minutes or 2.5 minutes or whatever. So you do that and then you come back to him and he's like, well, fine. And then you get this quest where he's like, you just can't get enough of that maze. Well, nobody's going to beat my best time. You know, only a minute and a few seconds more. And he's like, you know, I hate to break it to you, but there's no way you're going to beat my time. And so we're going to go beat his time. Okay, so the nice thing is our time doesn't start yet on his quest. So I could go and do other things if I want to. But I'm going to go ahead and head into the maze. We're just going to do his thing. We're just going to do one at a time. So in we go. It's a transition. So it is a portal. Doop-doo, doop-doo. Now, I normally stream for 2 hours, but we did start kind of late. And I'm not yet quite to Yon o'clock. Yon o'clock. But I'm not sure when that will hit. It may hit me at some point. I may just be like, done. So we'll just see how it goes. Okay, so we came in the maze, and we see a sign here. We're just going to keep going. And we're going to see another sign. We're just going to keep going. And now we kind of get to a little ziggy-zaggy. And so I'm going to go straight across this ziggy-zaggy. And then I'm going to go to the right, but I'm going to make a U-turn around this hedge here. So I'm headed kind of the same direction I was when I first came in. And then there's a sign pointing to the left. We're going to go right. And we want to do this other ziggy-zaggy. Come on. There we go. I must have my mouse somewhere else. And that basically takes us to the back where you don't have any choices here. So here we are. And we're almost to the back. Oh, you know what? I was talking too long. I might not make it. Oh, I ran out of time. Oh, no, I made it. I made it out of the maze. Hooray! Once you hit some of this tall grass, it's somewhere in here is the end of the maze. So what you can do is you can go out. Here, we'll just do that. You can go out the back. So this is the back of the maze, and it's literally on the other end of the maze. So like we came in here, and we made our way through and came out here. So we're at the other end. So you can, you know, mount up. I mean, you could run if you wanted to, but ain't nobody got time for that. And so here's the maze itself that we just came out of. Here we go. We might be able to get a nice view from up here. Check that out. So there you go. There's the maze. So you can see it from above, but it's hard to, you can't see it from above when you're in it. It won't let, the camera angle won't let you do it. But there's like a middle section there where there's a, like some people, a stage and some people hanging out. And where we came from is on the other, exactly the other side of this. So, and there's like a dead end over here. And then there's like a long shot over there. And there's an elf that hangs out in that corner over there. And there's an elf that hangs out in this corner over here. And another one that hangs out over here. So now we can't go back in that exit. We have to go around. So we're going to go right around. It's no big deal though. It won't take us long. This is the part of time when I either, if I see somebody coming out, I'll just follow them. Or, you know, it's the time when I'm like checking my phone or whatever. Seeing what's going on in Kin Chat. So, all right. So again, we're just turning the corner. Oops, I turned too soon. Sorry about that. Oh, hey, we almost went into the tag area. There's a couple of areas right back here where you can play tag with people. You go in and there's like a pillar or something that you touch, and then everybody is tag and one person's it. It's hilarious. And there's a freeze tag version, one of them. Okay, so here he is. And he's like, yeah, whatever. You beat my time. Go away. Oh, before I take his reward, though, I'm going to pull up my subscriber town services, open up my shared storage vault, because I have a fateful toolkit. So, you know the toolkits that you use when you're like crafting and stuff, and you can get the one that's like the 3-in-1. Those are nice. I often, when I start on a new server, I will go and buy the universal toolkit, which is very much like this fateful one, where it gives you 20% critical chance for cook, jeweler, metalsmith, scholar, tailor, weaponsmith, woodworker, and then it also gives you a minus 4.5 second duration, so it makes things go faster for your farming and your for the harvesting. For the farmer harvesting, forester chopping, prospector mining, and scholar researching. So that's really cool. Okay, but this fateful toolkit that I got from the Fate of Gundabad, I got the Ultimate Fan Edition. I got the big one because I wanted like the pets and all the extra goodies, and they had a die carryall, which is so cool. I love my die carryall. I'm so happy with it. Anyway, so Fateful Toolkit came with that, and this does all of that other stuff, plus it gives me plus 10% for wallet barter tokens. That includes festival and landscape tokens through Gundabad. So what it does is it says this set of tools, usable by any crafting profession, so you don't have to be anything specific, grants bonus festival and landscape wallet barter tokens when equipped. Bonus applies to landscape wallet tokens up through Gundabad level 140. So I'm going to equip that because that bonus applies to the festival tokens. So I'm going to get not just one spring leaf, but I'm going to get a bonus 10%. It rounds up. So 1.1 rounds up to 2. So I'm going to get a second festival leaf for that. So bam. I'm like, so worth it. If you're a festival junkie like me, it's really worth it. Okay, so let's do that again, but slightly different. So I'm going to talk to the guy next to him. Now, I'm a member of the In League, and a lot of festivals will have an In League challenge of some sort. And in fact, Harvest Math even has an Ale Association challenge as well. I don't think there's an Ale Association challenge here that I haven't seen one, so. And I'm a member of both, so you'd think I would seen it. So Tob Sandyman here, he is an In League member, and he's been partying a little hard. But he says, he basically sends you into the maze to find an In League artifact, AKA a keg. So we're going to accept his challenge, and it is very similar to Gil's challenge. We're going to take the same route. That's why I wanted to do these back to back, so you can kind of see the same route again a second time. See if that helps you out. All right, let's see here. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, that's a little Tom Bombadil house action there. That's nice. Okay, so we're in the maze. We don't have a timer because this part of the quest is not timed. So we're going to run forward, and we see this pergola here. That kind of lets us know that we're by the front. So that plus the lamp plus the bench, you kind of know that you're back by the front there. Okay, so again, we don't have any other directions we can go. So we see this sign. We're going to keep going. We see another sign. Oh, interesting. If somebody hasn't done them recently, there's just a single sign on there. There's a quest to come in here and put silly signs on here to misdirect the elves that are lost. But there's only one sign on there, so my guess is that hasn't happened yet. That's why. Okay, so again, we're going to turn slightly to the left and do the little zigzag thing. Now, if we were to take that first thing, we'd end up in this little dead end. So that's how we know that we're not quite there yet. We want to go to this final part. And again, we go to the end, but there's we can turn left or turn right. We want to turn to the right, and we're at the middle. So this is nice because if you ever get lost in the maze, if you can find yourself to the middle, you might be able to find your way back out again. Okay, so here's the sinister keg that I had to come and find. So I have found it, and I take a drink of it, and it's like, are you sure that was wise? And the answer is no. So we're going to do just like we did before, and we've got 2.5 minutes for this, which is good because we're a little fatigued. So remember this set of barrels here. We're going to go around it to the left. We're going to just do like a U-turn around it. Here you go. And towards that sign at the back, but again, we're not going to go left, we're going to go right. And remember, we got the little kind of zigzag up ahead of us. We're just going to kind of cut right through the middle of it, because that will send us into this final little path. Oops, sorry, I overcorrected. Of where the end is. Ta-da, ta-da. Oh, that's funny. I pushed the insert button, which puts me on walk. So an interesting thing is when you get to I'm gonna put myself on walk here for a second. So interesting thing is there's a pergola here by the end as well. So, and then the tall grasses, as we mentioned. So now I'm not gonna go out. I'm just gonna go into the tall grass here until it tells me that I've found my way out. So the thing is, as soon as you find your way out, your run speed comes back. So that's why I put myself on walk, so I wouldn't just run out. Because I'm gonna turn around and just go back to the beginning without riding around. Because my challenge, you notice it says the green challenge, which is what I was doing, talk to Tob Sandyman, so I don't have to find my way out anymore. I found my way out. Now there's no mounts allowed in here though, so you do have to, walk your way back. But I'll show you how to get back that way. So we're at the end. There's no options, right? We just follow this path. But we're gonna come out here. And remember how we kind of cut straight through the zigzag? So that's it right there. So we're going to cut back across that same zigzag that we came from. There's that sign that we ignored. And there's the center that we were just by. So we want to go back to the center. So remember how we made a big U-turn around this hedge? So we got to go back around it and make a U-turn back. And there's another one of these, kind of pergola sides. So you can notice that. We've got barrels on both sides of our entranceway. So that's another maybe like visual cue to help you out. Okay, so now we're back at the center. There's a whole other side of the maze that's north of that, or up from that. I think of it as north because I think of where you come in as south, but that is so wrong. You actually come in from the west, and so it's always screwing with my mind because I always think north and south, and it's really east and west. So just ignore me if I say the wrong direction on that. So we're not going to go on that other side, but we're here at the center by this little stage. So we know the stage is facing, the steps are facing where we want to go, basically. Like if we could just turn around from there and like cut straight through all of this hedge, we would be able to get back where we started. But we have to go around because it's a maze. It's amazing. Okay, so we're going to go. That's not mine, the tweens say that. So we want to go between these two pillars here, basically. And oops, not to the bench, because the bench is a dead end anyway. So that gets us started. And remember, this is where we had that little dead end that we're like, oh, we hadn't gone far enough. So we know we're in the right place because we're passing that. And then here's our little zigzag that started us. But this is where you got to be really kind of a little careful, because there's 1, 2, 3 alleyways that cut off of this zigzag. So the first one, here, let me put myself on walk so we go by it a little slower. So the first one will take you into another part of the maze, and that's not where we want to go right now. The second one will take you out, and here's this sign to kind of remind you that this is the right pathway. The third one will take you into another part of the maze, which is great if you're looking to go that way, but we're not right now. We just want to go back out to the front. So this is how we go back here. And again, we've got another signpost. So that's another nice little visual cue to know we're in the right place. And then remember, we've got the bench with the pergola. And boom, there's the exit, or entrance, I should say. So there you go. So if any of you are watching and have been like totally lost in the maze before, hopefully this is helping you. There's also on the Lotro Wiki, which is another fantastic community-based resource. It's all fan run. And there's, oh my gosh, so much in material on the Lotro Wiki. It's been an amazing resource that I have definitely taken advantage of over the last 3.5 years. Anyway, there's some great maps on there on how to find things in the maze. So, okay, so we're gonna go ahead and talk to Tob. And the cool thing with him is he's going to give us reputation with the in-league. He gives us legendary item experience, but he also gives us the choice between an in-league sinister keg. This is the only way you can get this keg, or 2 spring leaves. Now, I already did get one of these kegs and I put it in our kin house. So we already have one and we already have access to it. So I don't feel the need to get a second one at this time because I'm running out of housing hooks. So I'm going to just go ahead and get the spring leaves from him. So, which is 2, but it rounds up to 3 because of my bonus. So that's pretty neat. Oh. Okay, so who else do we have standing around here who wants us to go do things? Well, let's kind of maybe counterclockwise it. So over here we have a Hobbit, Buttercup Northtook, and she has chickens. You'll notice there's chickens hanging out by her. By the way, these are the same chickens that you'll find at Hobnanigans. So that's kind of neat. So you've got the ginger red chicken there, like ginger. And I like that one a lot. We've got the Dorking chicken. We've got the plain white chicken. I forget what that one's called. So, but there's 5 different Hobnanigans chickens, and I see 4 of them here. So that's kind of cool. Anyway, at the start of the hour, at the beginning of the hour, there's a quest that she will do that the chickens have escaped and they're running around crazy in the hedge maze, and you got to go in and chase them and find them. You got to find 2 chickens and then you come back to her and turn that in. And they're only in the maze for 15 minutes. So once it gets to be quarter past the hour, the chickens have escaped the hedge maze and you don't have the ability to complete that quest anymore. So Nidza 25, hello, welcome. Do I watch Lord of the Rings? Okay, so I have watched the Peter Jackson movies, yes, a couple times, multiple times. I have seen the old Bakshi Fellowship of the Rings movie. Bakshi, yeah. Also a number of times. I saw the Hobbit cartoon a bunch of times. I will probably watch, yes, the 1978 film. Yeah, I've definitely seen that one. That's the Bakshi one that I was talking about. It's like half cartoon, half live action, and they were doing a whole lot of really interesting things with film production at the time, some experiments and stuff. There's a really fascinating video out there actually done by a guy called Folding Ideas. And he does like an hour-long video talking about that movie and some history involved and all that. It's really interesting. So if you are into that movie, you might want to go check it out. I've also read The Lord of the Rings. I was watching and listening to the Tolkien professor, who streams also on this channel. This is SSG's channel, and so they let a bunch of us stream here that are fans of the game. And so the Tolkien professor also streams here, and he was doing a like chapter by chapter walkthrough through the Fellowship of the Rings and visiting different parts in Lotro that related then to that part of the book they were talking about. And so it's definitely like another read through of the book, so that's been a lot of fun. I stalled out on it because I've been busy with other things, and so and he does it at, he's based in the US, and so he's doing it like at night in the evenings his time, but I'm asleep then because I live in Europe. So I don't get to watch it live, so that also slows me down because I don't have like that, that time that I have to be there. And so it's like, oh, I'll check it out later. I'll get around to it. I know that they have definitely gotten to the council that happens at Elrond's in Rivendell. And that's a big chapter. Like that's an important chapter, I mean to say, not necessarily like big by thick, but I mean big, like there's a lot going on there. And I think they finally finished that. So they're still in Fellowship, I think, finishing up there. Yeah. So what about you? Have you watched and or read any of Tolkien's works or works related to his works? And while you're answering that, so I will continue on. So we've got the Hobbit with her chickens, and the chickens will be escaping into the hedge maze here in about 18 minutes, so a little while yet. Okay, and then the next one over, we have, looks like Salt, but I think it's Saelthiel. She's an elf, if you probably could tell by her name. And she has a quest to go in and find, there's some elves that have gotten lost, and there's 6 of them. And so you go in and be like, hey, are you lost? And they're like, oh, no, 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 I know my way around here. You know, that sort of thing. Some of them are like that, and some of them are like, yes, I will follow you, but they don't. Or maybe they get lost following you. So you can go and find them every day. So Birdie Thorn Thicket over here, she has a quest that I do like to take. I'll do this one in a minute. There's a strong dire beer in the Hedge Maze, and one swallow will find you bereft of your senses. You will wake far from where you began and have no memory whatsoever of how you got there. All exploits along the way will have been forgotten. If you can navigate the maze while drinking these dire beers as you go, I will be tremendously impressed. So you need to go and drink 6 of those within 10 minutes. So we'll try that in a minute because the timer starts as soon as you take it, unlike the run through the maze ones where they start once you go in. So we'll wait to take hers until we're ready to go to it. These 2 human peoples are here, have quests that are basically like, hey, if you go to this other place, will you go talk to them? And it's basically trying to send you off to other parts of the festival, like the shrew stomping, or there's the fields and Brockenborings. There's a fence running quest you can do and stuff like that. So that's what they're all about. So that's why they don't have any quest rings now, but they might if you are there, because they are all about sending you other places. Gizzy over here has a quest regarding those same elves, sort of. He's like, hey, there's elves that are lost in there. Let's help them get even more lost. So that's the one where you go and put signs in 10 different places in the maze. And that's where I find the wiki map really, really helpful. The other quest we have over here is Emma Greenbush, and she basically she came to the maze, to the spring festival, to get away from the noises of her home, and she wanted to get lost in the quiet and the smells of the spring. And instead, the tweens from the Shire are here, and they're being, causing mayhem inside the maze. So can we find 4 of them and reprimand them, ask them to stop being obnoxious in the maze? So we will take that quest. And you'll notice she's got like a couple of hobbits standing next to her looking a little forlorn, like they've been told off. Okay, so then we're also going to pick up the Dire Beer quest at the same time. I like to do these 2 together.
Would you do something for me?
Because the tweens are all over the place. They kind of have like areas where they run usually, like, oh, I'll just stand here and eventually they'll come around. Well, hello, mistyping on a tablet person. Welcome. We are heading into the maze to find some dire beers and to tell off some tweens. Okay, so there's a dire beer right in front of us. So we're going to go ahead and snag that because we've only got 10 minutes to get 6 of these. And if there's a whole bunch of people doing it at the same time, it can get a little dicey. Okay, so I've sampled a dire beer, but oh no, ka-thump. I pass out and I wake up somewhere else in the maze. Oh, hey, another Treebeardian. Awesome. Yay. Yes, I have just totally fallen in love with the Treebeard server. I love it. Okay, so I'm going to do my kind of like select, so it targets the next thing that's nearest to me, and then I can go ahead and use the use button, and it just sends me right over there, and I interact with the dire beer. So this will be number 2. So you'll see on my mini map up in the corner that it does show me where I am in the Hedge Maze in general, but again, remember, it doesn't show us any of the lines, so we are out of luck there. So, El Dariel, how are you enjoying Treebeard? I'm guessing because you are waving hello from a fellow Treebeardian that you are enjoying it. Hey, I think we're at the beginning of the maze. Look at that. I had a couple of visual cues that gave that away. One of them being also that the beginning of the maze is right there, and I was near it. There's often a dire beer if you go down here and turn and go all the way to the end, and then turn left. There's often one on top of there, but I'm seeing there isn't one right now. But there's one on the other side of that wall, but that's not easy to get to. But we'll keep running and see if we can find another one. And see if another one can come be somewhere. No, it still wants me to go to that one. Let's see, I think is this a dead end? No, this is the one that goes, oh yeah, this is the dead end. This is why you get 10 minutes. Kenthros recently came back to the game. You started over and made a burglar on Treebeard. Yay! We were running with a burglar into the Red Maid instance recently. That was really interesting. I'm so bad at playing a burglar. I keep thinking, I love playing Hobbits. And so I keep thinking, oh, I should play a burglar because burglar and Hobbit, like it's the classic combination, right? I am so bad at being a burglar to the point where I don't understand how they're effective. I really don't get it. But then I see people playing burglars and they're like doing all these things. And I'm like, well, obviously burglars are good. I'm just not good at it. So I tip my hat to you on being a burglar and hopefully being effective at it. Yeah, good on you. Okay, I think we're getting close to this dire beer. Yay! And nobody else got it. Whew. So your main servers back in the day were Crick Hollow. Oh, nice. I hear nice things about Crick Hollow. I think I started a character there, but I didn't really follow up. I'm really bad about it. I really discovered that I had too many characters on too many servers to adequately play on everywhere with everything else going on too. Like it's just not possible. So, but that's okay. Like I don't need Lotro to be a full-time job, right? Like I do have other things in my life to do. For example, learning Dutch. Oh, it's not this direction. We got to go the other way. And also I like to knit and crochet. I mean, that's fun. And so having time to do that is useful. But I tell you what, I was supposed to start streaming at 1 o'clock Eastern time and the downtime took us to like, 2:30. So I had like an extra hour and some. And so I was like, well, I don't want to go and get involved in something else because that'll be hard to pull out of necessarily, like if I start studying or whatever. So I was like, well, I'll just work on some knitting because I'm learning how to knit and I'm really slow so far. So I'm like practicing, and trying to get better and get more used to it and stuff like that. So, yeah, I ended up knitting like 4 lines, which I usually can get like 1 line done a day. So here's my knitting so far. This is not all today. This is just a part of it from today. So, but yay for that. So there we go. So yay for downtime for helping me get further on my knitting. But that's another reason why I'm not saying hello to all my characters everywhere because holy crap, that's too many. So you're an Undomnaroot. Awesome. We are not so hasty. Yes, another Elda name, Eldalith. Eldas unite. Yeah, I have characters on Laurelin also. That is the one place I still go to is on Laurelin because I love hanging out with those folks and I don't go over as often as I'd like to. Like I miss the kinship teas that we have. I miss them almost every time. Seems like we always have something else going on at the same time though, because not that we go out much, but we sometimes have people, like once a month we meet with some folks. Oh, hang on. I'm going to see if I can catch this tween real quick. They run by, so you got to catch them real fast. But woohoo. Oh, thank you, Blackberry Bear. Thank you. It's my first attempt at lace knitting. And so we picked something that seemed very repetitive to be able to do, but I wanted something also that would have some interesting pattern going on to it, or I knew I would get bored. I know that's how I am. So I wanted so it kind of was like ticking all those boxes, like simple, repeat, but interesting enough that it'll keep me engaged, So yeah, so it's like a 12 lines. You just do the same 12, like, each line is different, but well, every odd number is the same. It's just like, but then every even number is different. So, line 2 is different from line 4, which is different from line 6, and etc. But it's been going really well, so I'm really happy about that. Oh, hey, I did all the dire bears. No wonder I can't find any more. Okay, so we want to find 2 more tweens. So I'll show you a couple, all right, I'll show you a couple places where they show up, but you don't come and steal my tweens. No, it's okay. They come and go pretty fast, so it's not too bad. So there's a tween that shows up usually at the end of the maze, like right by the end, and then they come running out this way. So you can catch them sometimes out here, especially when you're coming and going. You'll see they're running around on my little mini map as rings. So like there's another one. Oh, somebody must have picked him up. Or they do run to a spot and then they disappear into the hedge because, you know, they're tweens. They're, you know, mischievous like that. Okay, so what else we got here? Before, yes, playing a burger, step 1, stab, step 2, see, step 1. Yeah, but I can't figure out how to stab. That's why I'm not a very good burglar. Yeah, see, step 1, right? Yeah, so anyway, on Laurelin, I still go to Green Dragon Fridays, though. I'm able to make that every time, so that's good. So I'm really glad for that, at least. Oh, hey, there's a tween. Hey, tween, can I catch you? Let's see. Oh, maybe? Yes. So obviously, as you've noticed, I've caught like two of them here. So yeah, there's one that comes from somewhere in that way, and they come through this little zigzag that we do when we're finding our way out. Oh, hey, there's a tween. Oh, that's where he comes from. He comes from that direction. And then they often stop. Oh no, he's coming a different way. They often stop and they'll be like, woo, 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 and then they run off. So that you might catch up to them, but their ring is gone during that time. So then you have to kind of keep up with them again. So that's another place you can catch a tween. Let's see. Kenthro says, Berg kind of reminds me of Brigands from EQ2, so I think I should do all right. Your main was a Runekeeper back in the day. You love to heal, and Guard was another choice as tanking is fun too. So yeah, you're just covering all the bases. I like it. Moobot, thank you. This week's sales, this is through March 31st through April 7. So what are the sales? Okay, let's find out. Let me see if I can get that to come up. Yeah, go ahead. Okay, and some more talk about EQ2, playing a Runekeeper on Treebeard. Awesome. You missed your Lore Master, though, so you have 2 now. I don't know if you were here earlier, but Eldariel, I have one of every class on Treebeard, because I want all of the titles. Because if you make it to level 50 on hard or, you know, and whatever, and deadly and stuff, you get titles, so I did that. Okay, so let's see. Bonus days brings you Hobnanigans now through April 3rd. Also, this is your final weekend of the Spring Festival. So yes, if you are using the weekends to do your Spring Festival, this is your last chance. Things for sale in the store. Make your piece of Middle-earth shine. Get 20% off select housing decorations, select housing sets, housing property writs, select cloaks. Okay, awesome. I'm kind of curious now. And then the weekly coupon, you get a 10% run speed boost. You get a stack 5 of those with the coupon code ONWEGO. That's awesome. What makes me giggle about that especially is because there's a band that we like called the Double Clicks, and it's 2 siblings, and they write interesting, fun lyric songs. And one of them is called Ennui, and it's ennui, like, you know, the state of being. But the chorus is ennui, ennui, on we go. Yeah, so it's a clever little piece of writing that they do, and I like it. So, and they're a really awesome band, so I definitely suggest you check them out if you have not heard of them before. It's just the Double Clicks. Double Clicks is all one word. And they do a lot of nerdy, fun music and stuff about cats too. Okay, so where's the new stuff? Dum, bum, bum. Well, I don't see it there yet, so maybe it hasn't hit. All right, just give it time. It might not be there. If you're looking for it, it's not there yet. It's okay. So yes, I am playing on Treebeard and the Legendary servers. There's a link there. So if you're curious about, like, hey, what is the Legendary server? How does this work? Lotro.com has a page about it. And then if you have any more questions, just come back to me, because I'm here every Thursday. And I'm almost always on Treebeard now. Like, I'm hardly ever anywhere else. So, let's see. Eldariel says you were tempted, but you managed to resist. Why did they get rid of the old store? You could just buy things in game? I don't know. I didn't know there was a different store. I just know that store. The one in the bottom corner of my bar. So down here, you click on it, it says Lotro store, and it brings up this pop-up. That's the only one I know, and that's in the game. I mean, I guess if you go to lotro.com, like buy stuff. I don't know what their actual thing is, but you can buy like the expansions and stuff there, like for cash, and the stuff you buy in here is for Lotro points. So I don't know. Oh, and a tween just ran by. So as we're standing here, there's the entrance. There's a tween that starts near the entrance over there, but there's also another tween that starts somewhere over there, like over there. And see, yeah, they come out here, but then they disappear there. So this is a place you can stand. You might be able to catch them if you're still looking for more tweens. But I got them both. So mine, oh, yours makes you go to the site. There's a checkbox. I don't know where it is. Eldoleth, do you remember where that checkbox is between having your store show up in the game and having your store show up out externally? There was a point where something went wrong and the store was only external. But then they fixed that, so now you can get it back in the game again. Yeah, okay, cool. Oh, awesome, B4 found it also. Okay, so it's in your UI settings. So if you go to your options menu, so like system, you can do it this way, options, or just Control O, will bring up this, let me close my tweens thing. I can turn that in a minute. So that brings up your options. Oh, I use a UI skin, so yours doesn't necessarily look quite like that. But it won't have the same colors necessarily in graphics, but it's got the same, everything's in the same location, so that doesn't change. So options, UI settings, which is over here on the right-hand side, and then external store. And you know what, I mean, or you could just like search. So here's a cool thing. If you are searching for something and you type it in there, it'll automatically gray out anything that's not where you're finding a matching word, and it'll highlight in yellow where those things are that do match. So that's really nice. There you go, external store. So check there, Canthros, and see if that is checked, and if so, uncheck it. So hopefully that will help you out. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I love the little search bar because like, let's go back a little while, see if I can find something that matches. So like, see, EXT has things under advanced graphics that matches that, audio that matches EXT, UI settings, and key mapping. So, but it narrows it down. So yeah, I like the way they did that. I find it very useful and I appreciate that. All right, so Emma Greenbush, we're gonna turn in our tweens quest to her. She's gonna give us some of that legendary item experience, and the Spring Festival box she's gonna give us. So we'll finish that off, and the box usually has spring leaves in it, but sometimes it has a shrew in it. But don't get scared, it's okay. It's just a pet. All right, cool, it had spring leaves in it, that's okay. Well, that's really weird. Are you playing on a PC or something that is not a PC? Like, well, or I should say, or using Steam or something like that? I only know PC and using the launcher thing. Steam is different, and it's possible that maybe Steam only has it externally. I don't know.
What can I do for you?
It could be a Steam thing. Yeah. That could be it, because I know Steam does things differently, so that could be why. Yeah, and I don't think you can change like between Steam and the launcher. You know, the whatever it is, like the app on my computer. I don't think you can switch between them, which is kind of a bummer because, like, what if I started on Steam, but then I'm like, oh, I don't want to play there anymore. I want to play this way. You know, I want to go straight through SSG or whatever, and I couldn't do that because, I mean, I could. I'd have to start new characters, I think.
No,
I don't know.
It's just a different client. It's the same account.
But you can't. Can you play your characters?
It's the same account. It's just a different way of launching the game.
Okay, so I'm hearing that maybe you could.
The Steam, you still log in with your account. Your account.
Right, but I thought it had like, I figured it was the same sort of thing, like where you
There's no
can't.
difference.
Makes no difference.
Almost none. You can use Steam codes to unlock some stuff like freebies and source.
Huh. All right, V4 thinks that it doesn't matter whether if you are playing on Steam, that you can like play through Steam or play through not Steam, and it's the same, you have access to the same stuff. So that would be an option, is maybe try it without Steam. Interesting though, because yeah, somebody I knew had some Steam codes, and I was like, well, that would be cool to try those, but you know, but I don't play on through Steam.
Steam codes will convert into Lotra codes that
Yeah.
you can redeem in the Lotra store.
Oh, that would be really fun. He's saying that Steam codes will convert into Lotro codes that you could use in the store. Anyway, okay, so this is the Dire Beers lady, and she says, well done. I didn't think you had it in you to manage that task. Most folks give up after the first few drinks, dizzy and confused. I admire your persistence. And she gives me 2 spring leaves. So, okay. So that's cool. All right, so I'm not going to do... Oh, but the chickens. Oh, I don't want to go chasing chickens right now. We're not going to go chase chickens. I'm just not up for it. And I'm not going to do the elves or the signs right now because I need to pull up the map, and that's more than what I want to do right now. We're gonna keep doing easy stuff because I'm getting tired. So as I mentioned, we're in the Netherlands and it's 10 o'clock at night now. And I usually stream from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. because yeah, on Thursdays we have class also, and so class is at like 9:30 in the morning for 4 hours, and so my brain is a little mushy. But then also, I did something crazy, and I've started going to the chiropractor again, and the only time that really worked out that was convenient for me was to go right before or right after my class, because it's like basically right next door to where I go to class. And so I booked the chiropractor appointment for this morning before class. So I got up an extra, 45 minutes early this morning. So, which I don't know, I'm not like generally a morning person. It's just like, but on the other hand, I've discovered that being up early or being up a little bit more early, my body is just like, it's early. So it kind of was like the same early. So, I can maybe sneak in an extra thing there. Okay, so Pretty Parched Partygoers. This guy has a quest where you go and pick up wine and you deliver it to a table, and you do that 3 times to 3 different tables, once to each table. And when you return back to him, he's going to give you some legendary item experience, some spring leaves, and also some virtue experience. So that's really nice because not every quest does that. Most quests don't give you virtue experience, but there's usually 1 or 2 in every festival that does. So just kind of keep an eye out for those. Hey, Thurlor, how's it going? We're grabbing wine and distributing it to party goers at the festival. So I did this quest the other day. This was hilarious. I picked up this quest, and I was picking up the wine. So it was going through that induction bar that you saw, because you only have so much time before your bar disappears, before that you drop the wine, I guess, or maybe you drink it all on the way over. I'm not sure. And I was in the middle of that induction, and I was like, I had my inventory open, and I was like, oh, I have this Tome of the Shrew, and I don't have this yet, so I'm going to go ahead and consume that and get the festival pet. Well, I did it at the same time as I was picking up the wine induction, so it must have canceled the wine induction somehow, but I didn't have the wine, and yet my quest had changed to deliver. So like here, if I pick it up, I'll show you, because right now it says pick up some wine for the southwest table. All right, so we're picking up the wine. Now notice it says carry spring wine to the southwest table. So it had changed to that, to carry the wine, but I didn't have the wine. And if I went to the table, nothing happened. So I totally borked the quest. So I had to basically drop it and come back later and try it again. So this table cracks me up. This is the 3rd table. So I don't know if you noticed, but as we're doing the quest, when you drop off the wine, more people show up. Excuse me. And this woman sitting here, right here in the front center, she will often comment about the fact that this sorrowful musician, although they're not holding an instrument, but that they're standing in her food, and it's quite funny. So it's amusing. It amuses me. Oops, I went the wrong way. All right. Hey, so here's something funny. When you're in the festival grounds where the shrew stomping happens, you have this effect called serious business. And it looks like this. And it means that you can't use your festival consumables and you can't do emotes and stuff like that in that area. Before, my sweetie does a lot of plugin development and was working on stuff that notices when serious business is on and when it's off. And notice that serious business is on here. So in this area, you can't use your festival consumables. And our theory is that because there's this stage here, and the stage does get used a lot, especially on Landreval, Landreval is a big server for events and music. They do a lot of music. There's a lot of bands on there, and so they use this stage a lot. And so our working theory is that maybe they turned on serious business for this area so people couldn't just like bombard the area with all these effects and slow the server down. But emotes are not limited here. Notice it just says your festival consumables have been disabled in this area, but you can still emote, because I'm like, I've danced here, I know, and people cheer and all of that. So it's a different serious business than you get in the shrew stomping grounds. In fact, I'll show you. So here, I'll just go ahead and travel because I have my milestone set to right outside that area. So we'll pop in there. I'll show you. It's wild. I think it's interesting. So it makes me wonder, like, how many other places do they have serious business disabled in some way? Oh, I wonder if the area outside the Prancing Pony. No, probably not. I think I've seen stuff there. I'm trying to think of other places where bands play a lot. There's a place in outside Thorns Hall where Winterfest happens. I wonder about that. Oh, and I wonder about Weathertop, because Weathertop has Weatherstock, right? That's over on Landreval. So I wonder if that has any serious business. I've seen fireworks for sure. I'm not sure if I've seen festival emotes. Okay, so we're in the festival garden, and we've got serious business on, and it says emotes and run speed effects have been disabled. Interesting. All right, so oh, I just missed it. Okay, no worries. Because her rings just went away, and yep, there it goes. Everybody's having a party over there. Yeah, the stage in front of Prancing Pony has serious business. Oh, nice. That's awesome. Here, I can show y'all what we're talking about there. I'll just pop back to Bree. I'm a hunter, so getting around is not a problem. And I have all my travel skills set to 5 minutes, so I can be back here in 5 minutes. No problem. No issue. Oh, you found the wiki lists both types. Of course it does. So, how many different ones? So Grimson Gretzelberg, Pretzel? Yeah, like Pretzelberg. Nice. Fun name. There are forced emotes that interfered with the music system. That's the reason for the serious business zones. Well, isn't that clever? Thanks for the insight. I did not know that. I am not like, I'm a consumer of the music in Lotro. I am rarely a provider. I mean, we've done some playing of music, and I really do enjoy playing around with, not lyrical, song, I have it down here, don't I? Songbook? I think that's a really cool plugin. I enjoy using that. But I am not, I haven't had the time to really go hardcore and really, get into playing and really doing hard. So, okay, so here we are. Here's the stage across from the Prancing Pony. There we go. I just stepped into the zone. And your festival consumables. So you can still do the emotes and the run speed, but you can't do the festival consumables. And I'm out. And I'm in. I was also curious though, because like over here, bands will often practice and play small stuff. Nope. There's no festival, no emote thing here. Well, that's fun though. What about by the boar statue? Oh, I was thinking I might check by the boar statue anyway because I was curious. I'm guessing the curator is not here. The curator is an NPC who shows up from time to time, who you can buy things using figments of splendor. Yeah, she's not here. She's usually right about here, kind of over here next to the traveler's quartermaster. So our good friend Myrtle Mint is here, but Myrtle is big on kind of like the I'm a lumberjack and I'm okay kind of look. It's not really what I'm interested in. Although this is a fascinating look, this formal riding trousers. Let me stick my dressing room over here. And I'll click on all the stuff. So that's the formal riding jacket, the formal riding trousers, and the formal top hat. And then, oh, hang on, let me see if it'll... Formal riding gloves and formal riding boots. So that's a fancy smancy little look. Oh, I've got the shoulders on, just ignore those. But yeah, so that's kind of a cool look, but I kind of like the festival stuff, I think, a little bit more. And my wardrobe's getting full. I've only got 20 some spots left, and we haven't hit all the festivals yet. Like, I still have, well, no, we did Harvest Math. Because wait a minute, we started June 30th is when the server opened. So we haven't done Anniversary Fest, and we haven't done, well, hang on, let me pull up my character again. Because I have it in my biography, as I noted earlier. A reminder to self. Okay, so we started June 30th. So we did have Farmer's Fair, but did we have Midsummer? Yes, we did have Midsummer. So any outfits that we got in Midsummer, I have those. So I don't have Anniversary Event and Spring Festival. Okay, so we're not doing too bad. We do have enough room for Spring Festival. That's the only one this year that I haven't seen yet on this server. Cool. Yeah, but that one has like the Unflagging Dragon outfit, and that is so cool. And that's like, oh, that's like 5 different pieces. So that's pretty heavy on the wardrobe usage, you know. But it's fun to dye a whole bunch of different colors, even though you no longer match the horse, but it's okay because it dyes up in orange really fun. So I kind of like that. Anyway, so my point is that I don't tend to get a lot of the cosmetics from Myrtle Mint because I don't think I have room for it all. But here, let's take a look at the elegant. This is the elegant version. The other one was the formal. Oh yeah, this reminds me of like, as if I was working a circus or something. And then they got some cloaks. I mean, they're pretty cloaks. There's some nice cloaks here. I'm not big on wearing cloaks with my hobbits. Sometimes they do. Like, that's cute. A little half thing. A half thing for a halfling. Ha! There's the elegant riding cloak. Let's take a look at that one. Yeah, it looks pretty much the same, doesn't it? Oh, and the hooded one, I don't like our hooded stuff. Not for my characters. Let's see. Oh, before blah blah blah. Oh, nice. And Twitch put all the menus in Dutch. Probably because we're in the Netherlands and we're doing that. Oh, the maypole. Okay, so here's where you're starting to get into other stuff. So the maypole is a yard item. And that one's a lot of fun to have like at a kin house or at a premium house if you have a lot of people coming and going. But I kind of like what we have in our kin yard right now, and I don't think I want to put the maypole in at this time. There's definitely some steeds that she has that I don't have yet. So that's probably what I'll end up doing because I'm getting close to running out of space. I'm getting close to the max that you can have on the Figments of Splendor. I have been using the Titan bar, which I love. It's a plugin. It's up here at the top. Oh, hey, yeah, let's put in plugins. I think I can do it. Plugins. So plugins are really cool. They're an add-on to the game, and they're all community-based. Like Lotro released the Lua, which is kind of like some information about the way that you can access information about your character in the game. And so people can use that information, the programming stuff, to create these plugins that give you the ability to do different things in the game using access to information that you already have access to, but then crafting that for you in different ways. So for example, I have, let me clear my screen for a minute. I have at the top the Titan bar, and on it I have listed a number of currencies, including my Figments of Splendor. So, and the cap is 10,000, and I'm at 8,400. Because as you run your characters through the festival, you can earn Figments of Splendor, so that's why I have so many. Then I've got like my in-game cash there, and I have it set to show me how much each of my characters is holding, as well as then the total amongst all of my characters. I find that useful. And then this is a cool little tool. This is the show currencies, I think it is, and you can click, you can modify which ones it shows you and in what way. So you can have it like show you, never here, I'll just click on it. So here's the full list of all the things that I could have it show me. So for example, ancient script. That's, I believe, the thing we use for our legendary items. So I can say don't show, so I can not see it at all. I could put it up on Titan bar, which is what I've done with my Figments of Splendor, or I could show it in the tooltip. So I'll do that, sure, we'll save it. And then let me go ahead and close that. So now when I hover over it, I guess it's called the wallet. When I hover over it, it's listed there. Now it just has the icons, it doesn't have the words. You kind of have to know what you're looking for. But still, it's kind of a cool, like at a glance, I can see, I've put like my festival tokens and my bingo badges on here. You know, it's the important things. So I can see at a glance like what I have. And then if I'm really trying to get to a certain level with my tokens for something, I will go ahead and for that festival, like put it up on the Titan bar, you know, like I've done with my Figments of Splendor, so I can track that like at a quicker glance. So Titan bar is really awesome. I was just mentioning all that though because this Titan bar is not part of the game, you know, natively, like it's a plugin. But you have so much cool information. Like this shows me how full my bags are. This shows me what time of day it is in the game. So it's dusk right now, and in 10 minutes it'll be glowing. Which I just think is fun because I like to see what time it is, but also there are sometimes like quests or various things, it's usually festival related, that pertain to specific time of day. Like there's, coming up in the anniversary festival, there are fireworks that happen after dark at the nighttime section. And then if you want to go around, there's another quest where you can go around and tell people and get them excited about the fireworks. That only happens during the day. So those swap on and off. So that's kind of useful sometimes if you're trying to beat the clock on that. So yeah, I have some cool stuff up on the Titan bar. Well, cool for me. So, all right, so let me check in with Myrtle Mint again. Oh yeah, because I was looking at the mounts. Look at my collections. That is Shift C to open your collections panel, which I just did there. Reminders should go in the list to use it every time you log in. Okay, so I'm going to look at my mounts, which is this tab here. And I want to look at here. I'm just going to get the drop down to just give me the mounts. So the Steed of the Heartwood. Let's see what that one looks like. That was if I spell it right. I started spelling it like I would expect to hear it spelled in Dutch. So that's the Steed of the Heartwood. Well, that's not bad. It's got some dark red stuff going on. That's kind of fun. Might match the Unflagging Dragon set if I do it in red. Okay, I'll go ahead and buy it. This is my main character on this server, Rosenbloom is. So she's the one that I buy all the pets and mounts and everything for anyway. So, okay, you don't have it. It's cost 5,000, so that will pretty much clear that out, but that's okay. That brings it down to below 5,000. So that's all right. That's one more mount for her. And then, yes, and then we have Anniversary Festival coming really soon. So Cordovan is the SSG community manager. He's an employee of SSG, and he was doing a regular stream on here called Court of the Rings on Fridays. But he's kind of put that on hiatus for right now. It seemed like there were things that the community wanted, and that might be a higher priority than Court of the Rings. And so he kind of took that input and is putting that on hiatus for right now, and instead focusing on the website and putting things on the new Lotro website. So see how that goes. So let's see. Kenthro's kind of sad my mounts and goodies you bought on Crick aren't account wide to come to Treebird. I know, right? Oh man. Now there is occasionally an account wide thing. So for example, I got, now this is through the community loot list though, which if you like donate during Extra Life or Movember, Cord usually runs like a donation time thing, and you can get in-game bonuses like mounts or titles and things like that. So basically you make a donation and then you send him a message, excuse me, through the forums so far, and be like, hey, I saw the community loot list and these are the things I would like to have from it, that kind of thing. So one year I got the, what is it? It's really big. I know that doesn't tell you anything, but, let me think. It's because the reason I say it like that is because it's the first steed that I put my first Bjorning on. And it was like, yes, this is a large mount. This is a large person. They fit well together. What is it called? It's the big one. It's got like all the white stuff. Oh, thanks, Thurler. I really enjoy playing with the skins that they have in this game. The UI skins, so good. Anyway, brain has stopped. Apparently, it's that time of night. But Kenthros, there are occasionally mounts that you can get through the community loot list that are account wide, and so that's really cool because then they show up on all of your characters. Also, I bought in the store the Steed of Rivendell, and I got the account wide version. So I have that goes to like all of my, that goes to all of my characters. So anytime I start a new character as well, everybody gets that. It's not the Autumn Sage, that's a festival one. Let me think. Available in store, maybe, is how I got it. Oh, there we go. Steed of the White City. That's probably how I could have figured it out because it has the word white. It's not, there it goes. There it goes. Look at that thing. That's got some huge paws, man. Okay, they're hooves, I know, but I like cats and cats have paws. But yeah, like a Bjorning fits very nicely on this giant horse. So that I got through the community loot list, and it's account wide, so every one of my characters gets one of those. So that's pretty cool. So what I'm trying to say, Ken throws through a very long discussion, is that you can get account wide steeds, and I recommend you keep an eye out for those, because that makes a person happier if you are like me, which it sounds like you might be in that regard. So account wide steeds are the best. Oh yeah, so I was gonna do a quick check on my, which UI skin am I using? Okay, so if you ever are wanting to get into UI skins, once you've downloaded it and it's in the right folder, and if you try and do that and it doesn't work and you follow the directions, just come to B4's stream on Tuesday nights and he'll help you out. Because I just turn to him and ask him to help me out. But you go to UI settings and you scroll down past all this other stuff. Keep going. Here it is. Okay, under miscellaneous, current user skin. So then a drop down will show up and it has all these different options that you can choose from depending on what you've downloaded. I downloaded the JRR Skins collection, which is basically somebody took UI skins that various people had made but were no longer supporting and brought them all together in one place. And so you just download that and it gives you all these things together. So I'm using the JRR JAPPME large, JAPME large, and so yeah, I really like this one. So it's got so one of the things that the UI skins do, if for those of you who aren't familiar with it, is it changes the look of what you've got going on around you. So for example, if I pull up any of those things that we were just looking at, but if I say, even if I pull up like the auction house, you'll notice that there's all this cool stuff going on in the background. We've got a big, looks like Lothlorien staircase and winding things and tall trees and stuff like that. Because this is kind of an elvish themed one, but I like the vines. And I like the vines for my Hobbit because, you know, growing things and they're gardeners and farmers and stuff. So it kind of works out well together. But yeah, each one of these windows that you pull up, the person who created this skin put different things in it. And I think it's really pretty. So like my vault has kind of a darker background than you might see on a normal one. I think the default UI skin is blue, I think, kind of a bluish thing. So like, I love how it's got like a little touch in the corner there of the little vines in the corner of the window. What's another good one? See, the auction house is big. Is it the relic combination page? Yeah, like look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Like these just tall, slender elves just chilling out there. I think the legendary forge, yeah, it's got the trees kind of like standing on either side and kind of meeting in the middle. Does this one have the large dressing room? You know, it's long enough ago, I don't remember if it came with it or if I had to do it separately. Because that's how I ended up down this rabbit hole, was I did want a larger dressing room. I saw Druid's Fire had a really cool dressing room and I was like, I want that. And that's when I started to learn about plugins and skins and, you know, it just goes from there. But so I do have a larger dressing room. It's not the one that has nothing behind it, because there's some dressing rooms you can get. For those of you who don't know, that basically it looks like there's no window. It looks like they're just kind of hovering in midair, the person, your character. This one, it looks like you're in the Hall of Fire, and I'm fine with that. I think this is nice, it's pretty. So this one has a large dressing room. By default, if you're not using any of these UI skins, your dressing room, when you're looking at your character, is about this big, as opposed to what we were just looking at, which is like this big. What is another window I can think of that's really nice? I feel like I'm forgetting windows that are like really cool to look at. Nope, that's just browsing the shop. Let's see, we were looking at the character screen. Oh yeah, the collections mount. But this also just has like the little touch in the corner. Yeah, I just really like, oh yeah, traits, that's a good place. We'll look there. Anything that brings up a big window is always fun, because there's always, whoever put the people who put these together, they spend so much time doing it, and I'm so appreciative of the work that they do. Elda says that most of the large JRR ones do have a large one. There's one of the JRR opaque or short, if you remember right, has the black background. You just changed it on yours last night for screenshots, nice. And yes, and Fibro Jedi has a really cool page, a whole article that he put together. So if you are new to using the wardrobe, which is not necessarily the most intuitive system to use, but once you get used to it, it's so awesome. I really love the amount of functionality that's in there. And so Fibro Jedi put together, and there's a link there in the chat, of how to put together outfits on your character, both using the wardrobe system and not using the wardrobe system, but still using the ability to do cosmetic outfits on your character. So yeah, look at that. Like, there's all this stuff in the background of this. I would love to have something that, I kind of think of this as like a more serious look. Oh, yeah, it's got a little burrow there though, so this is definitely Shirey. So it feels like this is a more serious look than some of the Shire looking ones. Like this has got some really cool vines and stuff. And I wish there was one that was very viney, but like a little bit more Hobbit focused, because some of the Hobbit ones have a really cool, like on your auto attack, there's one that has like a burrow door, and that is just so cool. But I really like the look of this one in a lot of other ways. And so I kind of wish there was ways to kind of like piecemeal or stuff. And I am not prepared to go down the rabbit hole of designing skins for Lotro. That's just we're not going to go there right now. I got too many other things, right? Too many other things taking my time and attention. Yeah, and I like the crafting panel too, because I like how it's across. I've gotten so used to that, as opposed to in the native one where it's like kind of a pyramid, like, down, and one up. So I do like this. I like this version. Oh, and there's no pictures or anything on here. That's interesting. That's a surprise, I guess. Maybe it's, no. Oh, it's probably because you've got all that. But you could have maybe put something back here, or maybe the Lua just doesn't allow that. New. But anyway, and yeah, it's got the vines around the mini map. I like that too. So, yeah, I like this one a lot. Obviously, I usually use it on elves, but I got to the point where I'm like, I was really excited to pull up my elves, so that way I would see the skin, and then I'm like, well, why don't I just put the skin on my characters? Oh yeah, right there. There was the Hobbit gifts, the Hobbit presents. Oh, and the collections. Oh, just in the corner though. But the Hobbit gifts had it there. Let me pull up the Hobbit presents again. No, it's just down the middle, I guess. But still, that's a nice little touch, isn't it? I just like how a lot of little touches where somebody took the time and did all that. So, anyway, all right. So let's see. How are we doing? Elda's gone back to lurking. Well, it is like 10:30 at night here. So I think that is an excellent time for me to start winding down from Lotro stream anyway. It's been about 2 hours. So, all right, so we're gonna wrap it up here pretty soon. If you have any questions, go ahead and pop it into the chat, and we'll take some last minute questions if anything comes up. And I'll just review real quick. So right now is Spring Festival. And let's see, well, I popped it in there earlier. So yes, so if you are looking to try and finish doing your Spring Festival stuff, this is the last weekend of Spring Festival, and then you have through the 5th is the last full day. So that would be, what day is that? Tuesday. So Tuesday is your last full day of the festival. So kind of plan your festival doings to make sure you get everything accomplished that you want to do in the festival. And then we have only a short period of time because we've got the anniversary festival is coming up really, really soon. Because we've got, let's see, the Spring Festival ends April 6th, but then anniversary starts April 20th. So if you are a person who has ever played Lotro and you have your Lotro account, then you will want to log in. Well, if you haven't logged in the last year, do it now. That way you'll get credit for the year that's just finishing up, anniversary-wise. And then once the anniversary festival starts, you'll want to log in at some point there, because then you'll get credit for that. And so you get goodies each year that you log in. So you want to make sure you catch up on that. And because this is the 15th anniversary for Lotro, they say they have some special things coming. They're keeping it kind of under wraps. They haven't said what they're doing yet, but we do know that there is a new instance that you'll be able to do during the festival, and that involves some sort of fireworks and Gandalf, but we don't know much more than that. So that one we have to wait to find out. But yeah, so we have, 14 days between the end of Spring Festival and the beginning of Anniversary Festival. So it's going to come very quickly. And And then, of course, Hobnanigans is this weekend also. Oh, yeah, there we go. In my biography, there's a really cool picture. But it's all Rivendell, and, Rivendell's cool and all. It looks beautiful. But I do kind of wish there was a Hobbity version of this, because I play so many Hobbits. It would be kind of cool to have that there. Oh, yeah, each one of these, though, maybe has a thing. Let's see, what about my house panel? No. I thought maybe the house panel might. What about the hobby? I'm just going to pull up everything. My computer's like, what? Why? You're doing this to me. I thought you wanted this, and now you asked for that. So many things you need. Oh, it's chores day for Eldaleth. So she's trying to get stuff done, as much stuff she's done before she goes off to her streaming. Oh, yeah. So let me put in who is on today. Who? Thursday. Today is Thursday. Has been all day. And we had snow today, which is wacky. Like, who gets snow in the Netherlands? Well, it happened today. Okay, so today's streamers are French Girl Gaming, and she is on like 13 hours before me. So if you want to catch her, you'll definitely need to be on a while ago or in 6 days from now. So there you go. And then I'm here every Thursday, usually at 1 o'clock Eastern U.S. time, barring any long downtimes that take place during Thursdays. Because normally they do downtimes on Wednesdays, but this time they did it on Thursday. So I'm going to just go ahead and pick up this quest of picking flowers for an hour. So you have a friend who's new to Lotro, says Kanema. He is free to play, and you're wondering if you could use some of your turbine points, I'm assuming, which are now Lotro points, to buy some items for him. Yeah, currently there is no way to transfer, as before says, Lotro points to another account. Yes, this is why we can't have nice things, because the scammers did that. The deed tracker. Oh, yeah. Okay, that's actually a good point. So this is another plugin that I like to use called the Deed Tracker. And B4 actually is the one who created this. So as soon as my screen comes back, I will show you that. Just follow me for a second. It's semi-related. It's related. Just trust me. So in the Deed Tracker, he did a cool thing where you can see the Lotro points that you can earn. So you wouldn't necessarily be able to give them any of the Lotro points that you have, but you could help them go and earn Lotro points in the game. So, that might be a trail that might be of use to you guys. So, or to, for both of you. So for example, like...
Changed to one of the other characters that hasn't gone out of the top 10.
Oh, okay, sure, I'm being advised here. Change to who? Somebody I don't run with very often? Cloudberry, for example. She doesn't go out much.
And they'll show a bunch of stuff in like the Shire.
Okay, so for example, so all these different tabs at the top match the deed log in the game. So if I want to go to, say, Eriador, where you would find the Shire. Eldariel, the other Elda says that they love this plugin, and they say thank you. So for example, in the Shire, there's still like 150 Lotro points that my other character, Cloudberry, could go out and earn because she just stays home a lot. And in some of it's really simple things, like just go see the farms of the Shire. That's 5 Lotro points. Go see the sites of the Shire. That includes like the party tree and stuff. That's like 5 Lotro points. Do like 75 quests in the Shire. So if you're questing in the Shire and you do 75, you will get, well, first you'll get 10 Lotro points for doing 15. Then you'll get another 10 Lotro points for doing 40. And then you'll get 15 more Lotro points for doing a total of 75. So, so that's a way that you can't necessarily give them points, but you could maybe help them earn some points. So, yeah. Oh, and Thurlow, can I say B4's full username without looking at it? No. Cannot. It's actually kind of a running joke between us. B4152, and then there's 3 more numbers like 528 or something like that. Oh, 562. I wasn't too far. Oh, but did I get any of the rest of it right?
You got like 3/4 of it.
I got 3/4 of it right. Now, the problem is, because when I say, I have a hard time remembering your username, and he'll be like, you mean before we're doing it? I'm like, yeah, that. And if you said it like half that speed, I might remember it. I am really grateful to modern technology tools, because if I want to send him an email or forward something to him, I just type B and it usually fills in for me. I'm really grateful for that. I rarely have to look him up because it just autofills and makes my life so much easier. So there you go, a little insight into our lives. Shorter than a phone number? Is it though? No. A phone number, okay, when I was growing up, a phone number was 7 digits. So, you know, like 4737522. I think that was my phone number, or 7322. Yeah, well, once you had to do area codes, then it was longer, but that wasn't, the first phone numbers that I had to learn were not, we didn't care about area codes, put it that way. Now this is after party lines, okay? So I didn't have a party line. My grandma did, but we did not. Man, oh my gosh, you want to talk about technology changes, right? So she had the old rotary phone, which of course everybody had the old rotary phone. And then the local phone company was switching to the touch tone phones. And eventually they got to the point where they weren't supporting the rotary phones anymore, and they made her switch. She was not happy about that. She was like one of the last people to switch if possible. Yes, operator, please connect me to B414. Perfect. It's B41423? 13. B41421. Anyway. Yeah, I think learning Dutch is more important, probably, at this time. You'll be charged $1.50 for that call. No, $1.50. You know what you would do is you would, so we did the ding me when you get home. So you would, because, long distance phone calls, cost. And so if you wanted to call and let somebody know you got home, and it was long distance, instead of calling them and like having a conversation, you would call, let it ring once, and then you would hang up. And so if you were home and you heard the phone ring once, then you knew, okay, they got home safe. All those funny little tricks. What was it? Oh my gosh, I was watching a video. Where was that video I was watching with the dial-up or the modem? Were you? Oh no, that was it was in a board gaming group I'm in. That somebody had posted a video about somebody from like 1984 showing how to use a modem, and he kept calling it modem, which I thought was hilarious. And he was showing how you would, he was like from the BBC or something, and he was showing about how he could use his computer and to hook it up, and then he was like on a train, and that wouldn't work because the phone that was there was a pay phone, and it would take like so many coins to get the connection to England. So then they had to wait until they were like at their hotel. I think it was like a Japanese hotel or something. And so they waited and then he did the and then got connected. Okay, cool. Then he takes it, and his modem was this funky like foam sort of thing, and he's like squishing it in there, and he's like, you gotta get a really firm seal on it. And then he shows his computer, and it's like, it's just hilarious. It's like going across the screen, like the little screen's like this big, right? And it's like doing the thing. And then he's like, okay, I need to put my security code. And this camera goes back to him far away, like, on the other side of the room. And he's like, I gotta put my security code in. I'm not gonna tell you what that is because then you might use it. And then it shows him typing it out. And I'm like, anybody who's watching this can see what numbers he's, like, obviously that's 1, 2, 3, 4 across. Okay, so he's just pressed the 4, now he's pressed the 7, now he's pressed the 3. I'm like, so obvious. I mean, I think of it now, probably then, whatever. It was just funny. It was highly amusing to me. And yes, calls were higher priced during the day, and so yeah, you had to wait. You wanted to wait and call late at night. Yep, I went through that with some various long distance international situations. Yeah, oh my gosh. Or like I lived in Colorado and I had family like in Ohio. And so we would have them call us because it was later at night, and it was still earlier at night for us. And so it was cheaper for them to call us. Yeah. Let's see. They used to write it modem. Oh, that's probably why he was calling it modem. Like there was a definite break in the pronunciation. Maybe I'll see if I can find the video, get the video over to before, and he can post it in that in the Discord server that you guys are using for the chatting about plugins, because it's so funny. Let's see. When your mom lived in California and your grandmother lived in Michigan, they'd have a whole strategy, yeah, to make sure the right person was calling to avoid those high rate times.
It didn't matter what the recipient was in.
Or you'd do a call collect, and you'd be like, so you would make sure to call for somebody that you'd be like, okay, when you get home, call for John. And hey operator, collect call for John. Oh, hi, is John there? Oh, sorry, no, John's not available for the call. Thank you. And that was your code to be like, okay, that meant you got home because there was no way named John and lived in the house, like that kind of thing. Yeah, War Games. Did I ever see the movie War Games? Asks Thorlor. Yes, I did. It's been a little while, actually. I've seen it since it originally came out, though. So I've seen it I've seen it more recently than what? 40 years ago? I'm trying to think how old I was when I saw it. It's really interesting because I lived in Colorado Springs, and War Games takes place, part of it, at NORAD, which is in Colorado Springs metro area, and it's on the south side of Colorado Springs. And so they used to give tours through there, and after War Games came out, they had to change some of what they were doing for security reasons, because anyway, so that was kind of funny. But yeah, it was very interesting to watch War Games. I always found it interesting. So yeah, that's true. Yeah, you and your mom do that at a variation of that now, because international calls are expensive using a regular telephone. And so yeah, we use Skype to call her, but yeah, so it's kind of funny. Yeah, collect calls. The trick was to cram in a 3-word message instead of giving your name. All these fun tricks we used to use, right, to get around the restrictions of prices of long distance calls and stuff like that. And now we just like pick up our phone and type in WhatsApp from, and everybody from around the world can just type at each other. And send pictures, and I mean, it boggles the mind. Like living in the future is fantastic. All right. Well, I think that we're going to go ahead and call it a night here. So next week we have no festival. We'll be in that 2-week gap between the spring festival and the anniversary festival. So we'll find some mischief to get into. It'll probably be we're most likely to do probably Legendary Moria, maybe Legendary Angmar. We haven't done any of that in a while. And go do instances and dungeons and stuff like that. So yes, Blackberry Bear, thank you for coming by. And Blackberry Bear says thank you for the great stream and helpful information. Have a nice evening. Absolutely. You as well. And yeah, I'm here every Thursday. So if you ever have a question on trying to figure out how to do something, or you just want a little bit of advice, or you think it's like a really such a simple question, nobody's going to want to answer that, absolutely bring it to the stream. I have no qualms about it. In fact, I was talking to somebody recently. She's a brand new hunter and brand new to Lotro. In fact, can you see if Sunny Potato is streaming right now? I think that was right. Yeah. Yeah, so maybe we'll do a raid if either of them are up. So yeah, Sunny Potato was adorable and wonderful, and she's new to Lotro, and yeah, so I was like, come on over, we'll teach you anything you need to know, all of that. Oh, Navajo Nate, I'm sorry that you missed the stream, and I'm on late too because of the delay. So we'll be back. I'll be back next Thursday though, normal time hopefully. So that will be at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, which is 7 p.m. my time here in the Netherlands. So, all right.
Gamer is live. Sunny Potato is not.
So, okay, Sunny Potato is not on right now, but the Green-Eyed Gamer is. So I think we'll go ahead and we'll send a raid over to her because she is a lovely person. And thank you all for hanging out with me on this stream together. And I will hopefully see you next Thursday. Remember, every time you go out and about, right, to stay in touch with that Hobbit side of your heart. Help others, right? Excellent. All right, we're going to go and do a raid. So hang on just a moment, because that is always a technological thing to figure out. It takes me a minute to make it happen. So hang on a second.
We're gonna raid here in just a second. That will turn you off.
Okay, we're going to raid here in a second, and that will turn me off. Oh, you know what? I'm probably going to be double whamming it here. So hold on, let me put that on mute. Okay.